Welcome back to Adelaide Stadium. Roof on. And the Adelaide Crows at one stage led by 44 points. They led by 37 as we're about to start the second half. Winner of this contest will be undefeated after a couple of rounds. Settle among the top four to start the season. First guy out of the stadium never wins the marathon, but it's nice to settle in a good spot in a new year. And that's exactly what the winner of this will do after both teams had wins in round one.
We've got to look at those defenders there, Dwayne. It's as much importance that they can kick the ball well coming out as they can defend.
Adelaide holding Collingwood to just 2 goals in the opening half. In fact, their lowest score in a first half of a game for years. Marley Williams tried to get it up. Can they get a start to the second half to give them some life? Dangerfield. Walker stands under it. Eddie Betts, good crumb, nearly marked it. This will bounce for him. Post.
Geez, he looks fit, doesn't he, Eddie Betts? He's even having a run in the midfield. Talking to a couple of Adelaide insiders, and they reckon he's had the best pre-season yet.
Kicked 4 goals straight last week, and he has looked extremely lively, even though he's only got 1 so far this week. Cloak had a big piece of that. Talia, arms free. Lynch, time to spend it, and Walker on the run.
Tex saw that get into Adelaide hands 2 possessions before the kicker delivered to him, and just started drifting up the spine. And poor Frosty, just for that 1 to 1.5 seconds, Jonathan, was just ball watching, and that's enough for the break.
Settle some nerves to start the half. It works back beautifully. It's been an inspired choice as captain. Equal biggest lead of the game, 44 points.
I wonder if we capture him in screen here, just the right-hand side. See the second one, he's already on the move. See, there you go. Already on the move after that first handball. The second handball gets delivered and he's got the break already. And Frost was still a little bit caught. Ball goes in.
Hasn't had a massive first half compared to last week, Durham, but he'll be rubbing his hands together, big Tex, I reckon, if the ball keeps getting supplied the way it has been the first half.
Just the 5 marks so far after a 15-mark game last week.
Just the 5 marks.
Just the 5
Pretty ordinary game today.
Bring that one back. The one thing I do hold fears for here is the humidity Collingwood played in last week, and they almost got run over by a younger team. Now they're playing against a seriously good team. Fatigue is yet to really set in this game. They've been very competitive at the footy, but they can't put it on the board. They just have to get some return, otherwise it could get a touch ugly.
Absolutely. These 2 teams virtually finished in the same spot on the ladder last year. 10th and 11th head-to-head here, so both have the same hopes for a resurrection this year. Cloak goes long, goal square. Swans down there, edged out of it. Douglas back of the pack. Thumb through.
Just there, Jesse White, he led before Travis Cloak had even turned around. By the time Cloak got turned around, White had already gone.
And they're already off here, Adelaide, immediately from the kick-in. Henderson. Eddie Betts, can he get there?
I think Tex is on his own.
And Walker might be able to mark this and keep running. Oxley's there. He looks up. Little Charlie Cameron's waiting for it.
Well done.
It's unbelievably unselfish, Tex, isn't he?
Yes. I think he's a great choice, Captain Dillon. I thought it was an inspired choice. A lot of people maybe didn't agree with it, but I certainly think they agree with it now after the first 2 weeks.
I wasn't right in that camp. I thought ability-wise it'd be wonderful you have a dominant forward like that, but I thought he's the beer drinker in the crowd. But to tell you what, as he swung us around.
Yes.
Biggest margin of the afternoon.
Kingy probably have an interesting point of view because there's a lot of similarities between Wayne Carey and Tex Walker, and Wayne Carey, of course, took over the captaincy from a pretty young age, and he's got that roguish, I suppose, type of personality about him, much the same as Duck.
Have a look here. Frost peels off big Tex, and that just leaves him. Frosty was caught a metre inside the baseline there. He just He was neither at the net nor behind the baseline, and didn't make the contest and couldn't get back to the coverage.
Yeah, he's the captain of a pot of beer, I reckon.
He'll want more than one.
Tex owns the pub with Will, I think.
It's either a pint or a schooner in Adelaide, Brownie. Have to get that right. And yeah, he owns the pub, so he won't have to pay for it. McKay. Jacobs, Smith, they are not done with yet here. Ellis Yeoman, who's been spectacular. Dangerfield, he just keeps on keeping on. Walker takes it to the line.
There's something about having a captain, Brownie, that plays with this sort of physicality that lifts the group and inspires the group. And when he challenges these midfielders to get the ball down into his area, they respond. I think he's a wonderful choice as captain. He's got that empathy that he understands how hard the program actually is.
That's a great point, Kingy. And you know, that last lead, the ball hit him on a half volley. And he doesn't, and some other players in the league should take note of this.
Yes.
He doesn't berate his midfielder for dropping it at his feet. He knows they're going as hard as they can. He's going to work on the next one there. He'll demand better, but he won't berate them for the inaccuracy.
Part of the role as captain is to have really strong and positive body language out in the field, especially as a key forward, because the whole world's...
Here he is on cue for you, Brownie, so you can keep talking about him.
Everyone's looking for that big forward, how he reacts when the ball's not kicked to him on a platter. And he's obviously got a very good personality, Tex, and he never blows up at his mids. Takes the good with the bad. He knows his mid's under a lot of pressure up the field.
But it's not as if he's placid. He blows up at the opposition.
Oh, he does. He does. Don't worry. You know if he's in the area. And he's got that nasty streak too. I reckon he wouldn't mind hurting you, dude.
And the other good part about him is that I think the people in Adelaide know how much every Adelaide Crow player looks up to him.
Yeah.
Everybody in Adelaide has known Tex has been massive for the club. He's been a big figure for a couple of years now. He's probably only just starting to filter outside the South Australian borders how big this guy and how good this guy is. Cheney sits it up. Here's Walker on the run. He's up. Frost's fist.
He's capable of that. But that's the one part of his game which he doesn't dominate in, and that is the big third man up over a pack and take a really high mark. He sort of floats through packs and takes a good strong mark, and he's wonderful with his deceptive lead, and he's so big they struggle to get the spoiling fist around him.
Pendlebury clearing kick.
I think the real strength that we haven't spoken about much is he keeps his feet really well, Derm. So he's very good at ground level.
Yep.
That's why he can get high numbers up into the 20 possessions. Most key forwards probably average around 12 to 14 touches. The big Tex can quite comfortably get over the 20 possession mark.
He also signed a long-term deal. He was the one that committed to the club. Sloan and Dangerfield yet to sign, of course. Dangerfield waiting till the end of the year. See what happens. Yench.
So that was a good lead.
Smith, who's been sensational. And there's the long kick. Took all ball there, right. Got it away from Langdon. Broomhoop. Pendlebury. Langdon.
So the pressure's good still.
And here's Smith again. And on the run. Gets it, takes off, and hits a chest with it. Dangerfield. Wasn't his ball, but he'll take it anyway.
Did you see Brodie Smith? We know he's quick, but Jamie Elliott has got some agility. He actually did a tighter turning circle, and Elliott couldn't go with him then. Watch this. See, we'll probably need the extra 2 seconds before that to illustrate that, but that was just pure agility that he did Elliott for then.
He's a star, Brodie Smith. That's what Adelaide have got going for him. To win premierships will certainly be a top four side. But they have a lot of A-graders. Adelaide have got that. Brodie Smith's one of them. We just spoke about Tex. Got another A-grader with the ball in his hands here.
A-grader?
Yeah, it might be A+, and I think he just keeps adding another 0 to his contract. The way he has been playing this year, when you add that to last year, Patrick Dangerfield, well, he was brilliant in essence last year. Pendlebury. They need their stars to stand up now. Collingwood like Pendlebury. Dangerfield cuts that off. Oxley. And they hit a target. Cloak's there. Goldsack is there. The fist from Hardigan.
Well done by Taylor Adams following that up. Seedsman gave really good run. There he is at the left hand, Taylor Adams there. Seedsman gave really good run from deep inside 50. He's already up on the wing now. He's jogging back. So he's trying to do his best. But as I said, he came on as the sub, Brownie, but he gives him good ground coverage. So he's one who'll probably hold his energy reserves a little bit longer than most others in the black and white.
Blair tucked into the pocket. That could inspire them.
And a few more of those, Dwayne.
Got no problems with their ability to want to go to the contest and win it here, the Magpies, and they are fighting it out as bravely as can be expected. They're actually leading 94-92 contested possessions. They're +2 in a team that is down by 45 points. They still go to the contest. Cloak encounters 2 opposition and still brings the ball down.
That's as good a goal as you see.
That is good.
You can't be disappointed with Collingwood's effort, Dan.
No.
I know we've spoken a fair bit about Adelaide in the last 10 minutes. Collingwood's effort's been fantastic.
Navarco's in there with Swan. Looks like Broomed. You can have that one again. Come on, Ray.
That's correct, Brownie, the effort side of things, but they do need to revisit their back line. Their back 6 isn't quite the right mix. When you look at the Adelaide Crow back 6, there's ball users and weapons on every line.
The problem is, King, I don't think they've got many options. That's a real concern for Nathan Buckley. That's why the baseline has to be good effort.
Smith again to start it from defence to Eddie Betts. So hits him lace out. Again, their ball use has been spectacular.
Well, Collingwood's already gone for containment because they've thrown Goldsack back, and to win the game, they need him as a forward holding the ball in.
Can they steal one here? Elliott looks up. They've got numbers running forward. This looks good for them. Langdon.
Seedsman's creeping down the outside. He hasn't seen him. Fraction slow. So this is when you talk about weapons. This is when you need a 65-metre drop punt, a raking kicker of the foot. You just float past and get the little give.
Wearing Harrio's old 8. He needs a Harrio kind of kick, and he doesn't. Jenkins unopposed.
That is not good.
Right.
That's a breakdown.
And again, they take it on down the middle. McKay with the speed. And hits a chest. Cameron. Eddie Betts. Dane Swan and Betts beats Swan. To Smith. To Lynch. Goldsack. Dangerfield. The pick at full speed. Caught. Dump ball.
Jeez, it was an exciting pickup, wasn't it?
He went into the turn a little early. He should have just kept a holding pattern and then put a step on. But he tried to power through that turn there.
He's got a great burst.
Langdon. Collingwood just lifted their momentum here. Can they get 2 in a row?
Got a good future, this kid, Tom Langdon.
Reads the ball well in flight. 3-on-1 Cloak.
Yench. Henderson. Yench. Ellis Yeoman. And again they take off. Brown. In the Dangerfield direction. Tooby right with him. Manhandled him beautifully there and takes it to the line.
Does a reasonable job, Tooby, to start in the lead there with Patrick Dangerfield. Dangerfield, one of the quicker players in the comp. Certainly got good leg speed, Tooby, as well.
He's got it back after missing, what, a year with a knee, Rico.
Yeah.
A lot of players don't get their full speed back. Douglas. And toes it off the deck. Danger zone. Walker. He turned the ball inside out. And can't turn it into a goal.
That's real strength there, Dwayne. When the ball hits the ground or he's on the ground, quite often Tex is a lot more capable at ground level than his direct opponent.
Marley Williams. Halfway through this 3rd term. Cloak comes up. Makes a contest. Takes right down.
A tough day for Brody Grundy today. Been tag teamed a bit by Jenkins. Of course, Sam Jacobs has had the 15 possessions. It was pretty good last week against Brisbane, Grundy, but just getting muscled up a little bit today.
And he did tire last week, as we mentioned earlier. That's on the full. 10 possession first term, none in the last for Brodie Grundy. In fact, he had a 2-possession second half last week, Brodie Grundy.
But I think one of the best young ruckmen in the competition coming through.
Yeah, a lot of players of his age that are ruckmen haven't even started their careers yet.
Just having a look behind play there, and young Jackson Ramsey he's dropped in on Patrick Dangerfield to mind him for a couple of seconds, and he was screaming at Tuvey saying, "Get back and take him. I don't want him down here. He's a little close to danger for my liking."
Hardigan. I think he looks a little different. Changed numbers over summer from 41 to 15. Inboard to Smith. Couple to beat, and Langdon beats him. And Collingwood have the numbers. Just a poor bounce. Swan. Varco. Or back to Swan. Court gone.
Should never go back into pressure there. They need to keep bringing the ball out. This commentary side, Travis Barker, instead he decided to step back into pressure.
I think Swanee was as surprised as anyone at the ground here that he receives that ball.
I've seen the Crows do this from time to time, Derm. Just take the air out of the game. They don't want the shootout. They're just happy to bank this little lead they've got at the moment. 45 points. Make Collingwood work a little bit harder to defend and just enjoy the lead. They've worked hard to get it. There's no need to get engaged in a shootout.
I think we've all seen King with Hawthorn, who have been the most dominant side, obviously, the last few years. They move the ball really quickly, but they know how to compose and slow the game down as well.
That was an amazing bullet pass,
wasn't
there.
it?
And the lead was just as good.
Did you hear me applauding?
I did.
I mean, that's a really difficult kick to make.
With possession football, they've created the overlap. Jenkins on the run, just in front. Couldn't get there, ball in.
Yeah, watch this. Now this is slow play footy, as Kingy called it, for 60 seconds or so, which is an eternity in league football to man up. So the kick has to be perfect.
Dangerfield. Eddie Betts, Marley Williams. Eddie Betts tried the back heel. Marley Williams. Ramsey bumped on the kick.
This is where they've had problems, just bringing out defence.
He's got to hit that short pass, lace out, and just take time.
Laird. Eddie Betts could stand on some shoulders here. He goes, oh, that's a better play. Over the top. Langdon put his body on the line.
Having a real good quarter. He reads the ball very well in the air. Just on that free kick there. On that outward kick, it's so easy under pressure to think, make it somebody else's problem. I'll get a 50 out. Instead of the 15-metre dab kick, he marks it, and you get your 6 to 8 seconds for other teammates to run past or make your mind up what you can do with it.
Under pressure, you don't see the short target turn. You're just trying to bomb it away.
Turnover again. Douglas to Brown. No one to go too long. Had to hold it up. Turns it over. Frost.
Now Jesse White's got to break to the other side. Use that pace. Get out there.
So Oxley has White or Blair. He goes for White. White has Blair or Cloak.
Shut him down here. Well done.
Goes to Pendlebury.
Well, Cloak's gathered a crowd of 4 around him down the line. Don't go to him. Good kick.
Elliott.
See, Cloakey's done really well there. He's attracted a big crowd. See,
Boys played on. Turnover at Laird.
Well done.
And the crowd getting more restless now. They're not enjoying this at all, the Collingwood faithful.
I'm tipping there's a state of people watching it on TV who are really enjoying it.
Absolutely. And the Adelaide Crows are flying at the moment. They've got record membership. They're up over 60,000, which is more than the capacity of Adelaide Oval. They've almost sold out their massive Hall of Fame dinner in 2 weeks' time. They've got about a couple of hundred tickets left for that, and that'll be a bigger dinner than they've ever had. They are flying, the Adelaide Crows. It's a whole new regime, and the fans are back into it. Varco to Crisp. The lead's coming, goes to the square. Elliott's going to go up. Free kick against Cloak.
Well, the crowd are going to go. Look at them behind.
Well, they need an avenue to vent their anger. Surely the Collingwood fans right now, it's just building up and building up. They would be hating this after last week's promising win.
It's good.
I think they've found their target, Dwayne. It's surname Chamberlain.
I think he's actually umpired really well today. He's a good umpire, right?
He's a great umpire, but everybody knows him. And
yeah, that's right.
Cameron flies, ball to the back. Marley Williams. Seedsman. And Adelaide still yet to use their sub. Seedsman, Collingwood sub. Splendid pass to Christ. Got away with it. Blair already got two.
Must convert.
To Fasolo. Angle a little better.
The pressure just dropped away a little bit by the last few minutes, and probably gone a little bit too quick. King spoke about it a bit before, where Adelaide took the heat out of the game, just wanted to control the footy. I think Phil Walsh would like to see that a little bit more, instead of just turning into a running race, the ball going up and down. It's the only way Collingwood can get back into the game.
They've kicked the last two in a row of this Ben's back post. So will they play on quickly as they have, or just take a little slower now, Adelaide?
Did you hear Ray say that? If I hear those words come out of your mouth again, it'll be, I think it was an automatic 50, but he threatened a 50 if he hears that type of language again.
Who to?
Didn't pick that up, but it's interesting that the umpires are going to pull a 50 at league level for that type of disrespect.
I like the
but
warning.
He's warned him.
I like the warning.
He's warned him. Oh, yeah.
Some umpires will pull the trigger straight away.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Smith.
Here we go. Adelaide, a bit more concerted build-up here, Dwayne.
26 possessions now for Smith, and again, he hits a target in the middle of three defenders.
Oh, Tex has got a wonderful match-up here.
Eddie, Tex, Charlie Cameron, Eddie Betts. Oh, it's a raffle.
Yeah.
Patrick Dangerfield pulls out the winning ticket.
Tex had the match-up of Marley Williams, and the ball just drifted in so that it brought Oxley into the frame with the third man up. So you watch here. It's actually, yeah, Adam Oxley there just gets him, but he's got Marley Williams, so had to go a little 5 metres further up the ground. Bubbles around it, just that relentless pressure. Hang in there, Magpies, you've been brave.
It was a better build-up by the Adelaide Crows that started deep in their defence. Had a lot of kick marks, just build it up slowly till they get free once they got into their forward half, then they moved quickly.
That was Eddie just saying, Danger, please hang around. I'll give you this one. Please hang around.
Let's sign up. Well, here he is out of the middle again. Rockets away, thumps it long, and he's got a spare man. Cheedy, where did he come from? Well, we know where he came from, obviously. He's joined the club from Melbourne and Hawthorn, but he's drifted forward.
It's going to be tough for him to slot it, and he knows it. So Rory gets the sideways chip. It'll be tough for Rory to kick it.
And, well,
Give it to the skipper.
give it to the captain. They are playing with them right now, Adelaide. Defeated North Melbourne round 1 by 10 goals. They are threatening to win this one by more. This is for a 56-point margin with a quarter and 3 minutes left.
Oh, hit the post. It's been the main target for Adelaide, of course. They've been targeted 11 times today as a forward. Nice little block there. Lynch steps across in front of Frost.
That's a free kick. The way the umpires said they were going to
Might be a
umpire.
free kick, but it's very hard for the umpires to pick up turn.
Absolutely.
I love seeing that, the teamwork between forwards. You know, Lynch decides to sacrifice himself there, so Walker gets it. It'll come back to repay him. There's going to be a time where Tex will block for him, and Lynch gets an easy one on the lead.
Couldn't agree with him more.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with him more. But the umpire missed it.
That's right.
Two of the all-time great forwards, 5-time premiership star Dermot Brereton, 3-time premiership star with the Lions, Jonathan Brown, with us this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching around the land. And if you're watching in SA, I know you're enjoying it. Swan hugs the boundary earlier. Can he keep it alive? He does. Caught high. Crowd screaming. They need a break, Collingwood. They don't get one there.
little bit of feedback given to the umpires down here. Not all positive.
What about you, King? You getting any feedback today?
We always get a little bit with the Collingwood supporters.
Broomhead. And that's, could be on the full. It hit the post. It did on the full, not on the half volley.
That's fine, Trav.
Now, Collingwood have got all their men in their attacking side of the ground. So this is Collingwood's effort at the press. So I reckon Buckley's just trying to roll reversal here, just seeing if he can practice a few things. He's probably going to go out the back door and not win this game. So we've got to find out a few things here today. The 51 points down. Let's roll the dice on a few things and see who's going to play certain positions for me. Let's see if we can commit to some form of structures like this press, but every player in 1/4 of the ground right now.
Shortish week for Collingwood. They play St Kilda next Friday night at the MCG, so I'll be hoping for a win in that one.
Good pace. Good run. Keep over it.
Cheney. Dangerfield went low. Turvey was splendid. Oxley. It's a floater. Tough to mark. Oh, they went up from all angles and a free kick.
Unrealistic.
I said that last Dangerfield incident there on the wing when he slides in low. That's the one that Phil Walsh probably doesn't really want him to go for, given the margin is 51 points. There's really no need for him to lead with the chin on that one. What are your thoughts on that, Dern?
Rather keep your feet there, wouldn't you, Dern?
Yeah, some blokes seem to... It's what you're comfortable with doing, and I reckon you're right, Kingy. As a coach, you want him to keep his feet and keep safe, but you can't sort of play on your terms safely. Otherwise, it creeps into your game at the wrong times. They've worked this very well up the ground here.
Jenkins wastes no time and lands another punch to Collingwood's jaw.
Let's have a look at it, Kingy. We'll have a look at Danger chase this out. Here he comes. Just tries to get underneath him there and paddle it out. Yeah, a lot of blokes. I remember playing against the great Bruce Dool. He'd let you go for it and slide in, and his reflexes could catch you in the tackle once you got it.
'50th game for Josh Jenkins this afternoon. Kicked 3-1 last week. Having a good start to his 2015 as well.
Good foil for Tex Walker as well down there.
Plays like he's seen a lot more than 50 games too.
Big brute of a lad.
1 minute to 3/4 time.
I reckon Rory caught one in the family jewels then.
They're yet to use their sub, Adelaide. Mitch Grigg is their sub. He'll be busting to get on and get a piece of this. Brown, good battle. Elliott tied up. Brown still got him. Holding the ball.
G's played well. Brown, Lukey Brown, 181 centimetres, so he's not tall either. But you would think that Jamie Elliott's going to get him in the air, but he's been able to spoil him on most.
It's hard to find those defenders, that small and medium type defenders that can go with those jumping forwards.
Yep.
And Lukey Brown's one of those guys who does a really good job on those type of passes.
Gee, that's a big jump off 2 feet in front of the pack there by Jesse White.
They steal one here on the siren. It sits up. They need a mark or a free. Crest. He gets the free.
All right, Brownie. He's got a shot here. Your old teammate. What's he need to do? Where does he need to start? He looks like he's got a big left to right.
What he has done is he used to kick off his instep a little bit, Crispy. In this scenario of his game, he needs to improve. He's come a long way in the last 12 months, Jim.
I was watching him before the game.
Needs to improve, yeah.
And he was having a few kicks out there, and Benny Hart, former Crows champ, was coaching him through a few set shots.
That's what he has ahead of him. Struck it well, not well enough. And that tells the tale of Collingwood's day. Adelaide has done just about everything right. Collingwood just about everything wrong. 3/4 time, Crows by 56. It's been a feeding frenzy from the Adelaide Crows, hunting down their Collingwood opponents. Only conceded 3 goals in 3 quarters. And they've piled on 11 of their own. 11-15, 81 to 3-7-25. They lead by 56 points at 3-quarter time. And there's the numbers in detail for Jonathan Brown and Dermot Brereton to have a look at and digest for a little while as we go down to David King on the boundary line.
Well, he wasn't happy, Phil Walsh, when he got to the huddle. He dragged them in very quickly, not happy with that 3rd quarter. He wants them to be a relentless side, a ruthless side. If they're going to be that, then they need to put them away in the last quarter here. There's blood in the water. They need to make this a 100-point margin, and he left them in no uncertain terms. They know exactly where this game sits. He wants the kill.
Yeah, I think they certainly dropped off a little bit with their intensity, especially in the middle part of that 3rd quarter. However, I think he would have been a lot happier in the last 10 minutes of the 3rd quarter that they used the ball a little bit better. They were better with their build-up. But I think they want to build their identity out of the defensive pressure, and they want that to be 4 quarters because they know that's what it'll take to win big finals.
Matty Wright looks like he's been subbed out, and Grigg comes in. I think I want you to have a look at in the last quarter. The 20-year-old Brodie Grundy looked to be really tiring against a big 26, 27-year-old Sauce Jacobs, who's a mature, big ruckman.
It's been fantastic, Jacobs, today.
One of the best ruckmen in the competition now, was again last year. Dangerfield to Douglas towards Walker. Off Frost's head. Adams. Bounce handball works. Pendlebury, Elliott. Open side handball to Seedsman. He thumps it. Hoping for Cloak. Just bounced in front of him unkindly. Jesse White overruns it. Talia.
That, I'll talk about it in a second.
Stolen back. Broomhead outside of the boot. There's your start.
Good lad. The Cloak attack on the footy then, that is one where he's a monster of a man. A more athletic player is going to dive for that and know he can mark it. So that's just horses for courses there. Cloakey's come out and probably second-guessed himself to dive.
Probably should have gone. Probably should have took a bit of skin off the nose there.
Absolutely.
Took the sliding chest mark.
Cloakey had a chance to really dive into this and just didn't have the... Yeah, he's got to dive for that and accept that he's going to have no skin on the inside of the elbows. Well, they get them this time of year. They last till August. They're hard to heal.
Grundy. Elliott. Lifted their right here. Short. Swan went to ground. Cheney kept his feet and does beautifully with the toe to Yinch.
He's dense, Cheney. He's really hard, heavy body, and you know, that little half nudge against somebody of similar size. The Swanee's thereabouts, even though he's a midfielder. I reckon, you know, if your car ever runs into a wombat, it'll stove the front end of your car. He's got that wombat build. He's really dense and heavy.
Adelaide used picks 31 and 50 to get him from Hawthorn, who initially used pick 53 to get him.
He's a better player. He's a better player than a wombat too, I might add. But he's that really heavy set, heavy-boned player.
Tell you what, if he doesn't have a nickname, Term, I reckon you've just landed him one. The boys watch this telecast.
Let's have a look at these two big fellas. Grundy's battled on. Well done.
Almost the clearance. Yench, slick hands. There's the sub Greek. First touch finally after an initial fumble. Cameron. Henderson, Taylor Walker, put it in front. Jenkins is hoping for some Eddie Betts support.
That was really interesting. You notice that, Brownie, that Tex went feeling for the body of Frost before attacking the footy.
The ball just landed on his head a little bit, and he's got a pretty good ability, Tex, to be able to turn his head and see where his defender is without giving away the free kick.
Whereas a lot of key forwards will just rely. I've got the drop. I've got the spring heels. I'm going to jump high and take this off the ground.
Sloan to Dangerfield. Out of the copybook.
Good support running down there. Just turn them inside out.
It's been good today, Sloan.
Oh, he's a super player.
He's a star. They've used him a fair bit. Him and Dangerfield, they've used off the back of the centre square at times, knowing full well that Collingwood have to man him up. They can't allow him to run in off the back of the centre square unmanned.
Patrick Dangerfield has made no secret of the fact he'd like to plant a flag before his career is over, and that's going to weigh heavily on his decision at the end of this year. If the Adelaide Crows keep playing like this, and they finish this season top 4, I can't see him leaving. This is exactly what he would be after. Be part of this kind of team if they can produce this every week. Pendlebury.
All right, Jesse, you've got to jump at it. Good effort.
He
well
done.
done.
It nicely.
I think he's both club and player are both professional enough that negotiations will be going on off field, and they'll be able to keep that separate from their performance on the field.
Sloan, who may well sign next month. If you're talking about his deal nearly being done, so that'll be another one in the book at least. Frost, Siegeman didn't strike it well. Jacobs, Brown, Douglas, Van Berlo. It's good to have him back after he missed the entire 2014 season.
The stats are starting to rack up too. Rory Sloane, who gave that off to Patrick Dangerfield, that's his 5th score assist for the day. And last year he went through the season as 4th highest in the AFL for score assist.
Douglas to Betts. Didn't complete the mark. Lays the tackle for Solo. Pendlebury.
Oh, that's got to be on the money. It's not.
For Solo steals it back. Langdon. Jesse White used his hands and his body well. Needs to find a target. Bounced unkindly for Laird. Swan. Easy, surely. Made it look tough initially.
Adelaide just looking a little bit, not fatigued, but certainly the intensity's gone out of their game.
They're a bit fatigued. I mean, they're not getting the backline support now that they had in the first 2.5 quarters.
That's right.
See, a little bit of a split there, and it's a one-on-one. The next one in, it's a 2-on-1, and then the second, that's a half forward who comes up to give them support.
.21 possessions so far today for Dane Swan after a 31 possession game to start the season last week.
Now got a loose man behind off the square, Rory Sloane.
Dangerfield, Ellis Yeoman. Cameron, gee, that's a fantastic attack at full tilt. Almost ball. Wasn't quite wrapped up in the tackle. Crowd still wanted ball, and now it's going to be Adelaide's ball. Ramsey.
He's got some wheels, Charlie Cameron, Dwayne.
Has he ever?
Thank you.
Had a couple of scintillating quarters of football last year. Missed out that week on the NAB Rising Star nomination because there was a kid at the Brisbane Lions, Brownie, who also had a pretty good week. In fact, he had a pretty good month. That's why Lewis Taylor was nominated the week Charlie Cameron had a day out. White, he can get and go here. Oh, he does, but he's brought down. Hardigan read his mind.
Didn't have a lot ahead of him. Still probably could have kicked it forward. Dane Swan one out.
For Solo.
Might do it again.
What's missing, boys? For the Adelaide Crows to become a genuine contender in the competition, that man's put a great plan in place. You can see they're really enjoying playing their football for the first couple of weeks. But what's the next step, Derm? What do they need to be a genuine contender?
They need one of their 2, 3, or someone else to become a bona fide stopper in the back line against good quality forwards. They got a very good one in Talia. And thereafter, apart from some little fellas, we just don't know.
Well, Hardigan's the one that's got that responsibility at the moment as the second defender. Derm. They've got Cheney in from Hawthorn, who's, is better suited to the medium sort of hybrid type forwards, but Hardigan needs to make it his own. Of course, they lost Ben Rutten, All-Australian defender, been the real linchpin of Adelaide's defence for the best part of a decade.
But Ben Rutten, as good as he's been, probably was off the pace in the last 18 to 24 months. So it's not as if they didn't know this was coming.
Good thing about Adelaide's defence is they've got some really good running defenders, so they can allow a guy like Daniel Talia just to lock down the opposition's best key forward, knowing full well there's plenty of run and support and carry.
He doesn't have to
guys like Brody Smith bringing him out of half back. They're going to get plenty of attacking run from those guys without the big defenders needing to add to that.
I think the other thing we're looking at for Adelaide as well is people like Betts rolling through the middle for 4, 5 times at centre bounces throughout the game. They just need to pump up the stocks of people who can be in at the centre bounce, because their midfield is very good for the first half dozen. But you look at the guys who are at the top end of the tree, they have 8, 9, 10 people who can roll through the midfield, and they're bona fide match winners on their day in the midfield.
Free kick to Swan for in the back. Some applause for an umpire for a change. High, goal square. Cloak leads, got it!
Well done. 40's one of the front spot there.
Daniel Talia has screamed at his teammates over there and said, come on, come on. He needed some help there. Yeah, Hardigan. So there you go. That's a fail for Hardigan. Talia's doing his best to ground Cloak, and he did. Hardigan got the jump at it, but just clean missed the ball.
Finally, the crowd gets something to roar about.
So if we have a look at this, Brownie, Talia's job is to ground Cloak so he doesn't jump. He does that. He's been beaten by him, but he grounds him. And it is up to his teammate Hardigan to come through. Now watch.
Just allowed him to slip past, though. Cloak was able to slip past Talia. Talia would like a stronger contest, potentially. Now, we do know with these new rules that the defender can't step across and block the run of the forward. Well done by Cloak there. He has fought hard to still try and make a contest today.
First goal of the afternoon for Travis Cloak. Jesse White in the ruck now. Dangerfield somehow peels his way through traffic. Walker. Edges out Frost. Sloan. Douglas. Grigg. Eddie Pett's got one to the ear. Cameron stalking it. You heard the umpire. Goldsack's free. Ramsey heads wide. McKay and Talia combined nicely. Lynch went for Brown, and to go back and get it and give it to him. Good attack, Jesse White. Seedsman didn't realise Henderson just came off the bench. Caught him, he dropped it. Sloan. Henderson might go all the way home. We poked it over the head. He didn't know whether to pass to Walker or go for goal. He didn't either.
It was a bad lead by Texo. He led to the wrong side.
Push off from Smith. Normally hits a target. Cameron, good hands. Lynch. From the stand start.
It's been a little bit sloppy in the forward entries here, Adelaide. Just need to compose themselves a little bit better. They've got control of the footy. Had Rory Sloan there on his own, about 30 metres out from goal. Missed him there.
Adelaide did start the favourite here this afternoon, according to many scribes, against Collingwood, even though they both won round 1. And you'd think they'd be picked by many people the next couple of weeks as well. It's looking good for Adelaide.
Here we go. This lead we just spoke about before. Tex was one-on-one, and you see Tex has led back to the inside where there's traffic. He should have led to the pocket. Would have been a much easier kick for his Adelaide teammate. He'd be disappointed with that lead.
Jonathan Brown explaining it. One of the great forwards of all time. Umpire circling here is going to have to ball it up. So the next 2 weeks, Adelaide have Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval next week, and then the Bulldogs back here at Etihad Stadium, and then the showdown round 5. They could really sound a warning or two in the next couple of weeks if they haven't already. Frost over the head of Crisp. Varco.
Good run.
Swan. Manhandled forward. Yench tries to track him down. Forced into the pocket. Swanee has a bounce. Post.
Oh, he's got a second shot at it.
Should have done that the first time. It was a good effort though, wasn't it?
Super effort to turn him around.
Created something out of nothing.
Is that a 7-point player?
Oh, yeah. It used to be in the old NAB Cup, didn't it? That would have been play on.
Yeah, that's true.
I reckon you've made a great point a couple of minutes ago about the Tex Walker not lead to the outside, because what can happen occasionally when your team's on top, you think, I'm the kind of player who leads to position, but at the moment we're so dominant, I'm going to beat my opponent with deception. That's what he tried to do, deceive him. Or sometimes you just got to stick with the, I'm going to grunt it out, I'm going to work harder to the outside and get on the lead, and I'll outrun him on this lead. He didn't. He tried to play him back inside.
Well, you're right. It is easier just to lead to the inside, isn't it? Not as much hard work. You know your teammates got time and space up their field. You're a long way ahead on the scoreboard. You're just sort of looking to put the cue in the rack and have an early shower a little bit. And
the things that have worked for you, once they have worked and they've put you ahead on the board, you go away from them looking for the easier path.
They're not by any stretch of the imagination are we knocking Big Tex's
not at all.
Rate.
But it's just
we love the Big Tex.
It's natural. This is unfortunate.
Brody Smith.
So Brody Smith, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's in real trouble, Dwayne.
So they may have to stop play here. I think the trainers have called to the umpire to hold it up. Oh, gee, that is horrible. Yeah, we'll advise you to look away.
They're trying to get the mouth guard out.
Yeah, so feel free to look away.
This is him. Keep your eyes on him. What happens here? He gets swung around. Oh, the back of the knee. In front of the knee, on the back of the head. Swung into the knee. Totally accidental.
So stretcher is coming out.
Stretcher's coming on. Take all the time you need, guys.
If I blew the whistle right now, that boy's best on ground for me.
Yeah, he's been terrific all day.
30 possessions for Brody Smith.
I think even though he's All-Australian last year, Dwayne, he's been underrated outside of South Australia, I believe. I think we spoke about earlier in the telecast, he's arguably the best, definitely right foot kick in the competition.
He's raking, isn't he?
Oh, he is. Yeah. Let's just hope he's okay, and that's a concussion at best.
There's some concern on the faces as well out there. The trainers are doing their best.
So,
best medical people in the business involved at AFL clubs these days, so you'll get the best of care.
David King, you're down on the bench, so Griggs come on. I hadn't seen him come on, but I thought Matty Wright had been subbed out earlier.
Yeah, he had done. So I can't answer what has happened there. Maybe a concussion test or so, but there he is there. You can see him on the bench. So he's out of the game. So they're just going to be down one player. But that's not really a concern at this stage. It's all for the health and well-being of...
So it's just Griggs who happens to be on the bench at that time. I'm not...
Yeah,
he's not coming out of the subs vest to come on. It's just a replacement for this terribly unfortunate incident.
Of course, they've had pre-season injury as well, didn't they, Dwayne? With, unfortunately, Brent Riley had a really serious head injury. Of course, we hope that Brody Smith's in a lot better shape than that.
Yeah, and there's still concern about Brent Riley, whether he'll be able to come back. They've still got Scott Thompson and Kerridge and Otten and Brad Crouch, of course, to come back in. But he has been sensational today, Brody Smith. In fact, let's have a look at his afternoon at the office. 30 possessions to this point of the game.
21 kicks there, the main stat, and he's one of their designated ball users, if you want to call it that. He's just unbelievable. He's like a surgeon with that right foot. You'd love to be on the end of that as a key forward, Derm. It was one of his rare times he missed.
You have dreams of those types of kicks coming forward.
He's got great penetration when he kicks as well. It really gets to the target very quickly.
In the words of the old Dougie Hawkins, he's a 100-metre player. He runs 30 and kicks at 60. Now, fingers crossed for him. He's going to be okay here.
His family would understand the dangers of football. His father's been a long time, big-time footy fan, Port Adelaide fan back in the SANFL days. Goes to many of Brodie's games. May well be here, so could well greet him down in the rooms if they're watching at home. We'll try and bring you an update, David King, as soon as we can.
He's on the update. It's unfortunate. It's the 6th time he's reached 30 disposals in a game. The other 5 were last year. So round 2 he's done it again. He's hit 30 disposals today before this has happened.
He's gained 564 metres today, which is ranked #1 on the field. I think anything over 300 metres is a pretty good day. I'm not sure about that stat. Kingy might know a little bit about, but that's a huge day.
500's a big day. 500's is certainly an A-grade game. There's some concern down here. There's still some concern for the young man. He's getting a round of applause, but he is in the best of care, as you said earlier, Derm, so he's in good hands.
Yeah, the Magpie supporters are applauding him. They're a good lot now. They'll yell and scream when it's, you know, their turn to go and support their team, but well done, Collingwood supporters. They put their hands together for this lad here, and I don't doubt they'll do it again. He has been unbelievably good today, and we have got our fingers crossed for him right now. Taking that drive very, very slowly off the ground, especially when they get to this ramp here.
There goes the hand. It's the one that all supporters want to see, and no doubt it's his family, either at the ground or at home. Good to see him raise the hand.
So play continues. Ellis Shulman kicks to half forward, but unfortunately,
he's a fine Ellis Yeoman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I made mention before, one of the things that they'd want is another midfielder to add to that roll through stocks in there. And he's a big enough kid, you could say he's like that sub-sized key position player. He's around 6'2.5" in the old language, 189 there he is. Big body who can stretch height. And he's another find for them who can go through there and soak up time and heat in the middle of the ground.
Pendlebury to Grundy. Oxley. Laird kept his feet for Solo, went to ground. Walker on the march. Frost got a fist in there. Walker keeps his feet. Broomhead. Langdon. Brown and Swan can go. He's got Jesse White inside 50. He's got Cloak inside 50. He goes for White and hits him lace out.
Now, big Sauce Jacobs is running to the goal square. This is where Brodie Grundy, who's at centre-half forward, needs to just sneak out 20-odd metres around to the side and draw out Jacobs. And even get on a lead, just make him think about his game a little bit more than just being. See, there he is, bent over near the far point post.
Spoke to Brodie Grundy about that a couple of weeks ago, and just the whole how young he is. It is going to be obviously tough for him to ruck every game all day.
Well, I think it's hard for the ruckman. You know, they don't really come of age until 23. You would say, Derm. It takes 5 years in the gym to really build up the...
He's 4 days off his 21st.
Yeah, it's really young, and he's had to shoulder a big lot of the burden on his own. He gets a little bit of support from Jesse White, but really since Darren Jolly's gone, he's had to take over and run the show. since the age of 18.
They've got wits at the club also, but not in the team, obviously.
Seedsman has some space here. Who does he want inside 50? Cloak's leading back to the square. He goes inboard. Dive, Langdon.
Coming up for his 22nd possession, hasn't troubled the scorers tonight. But a very, very good second half.
So too Adam Oxley, who's up to 30 disposals now. That's a PB for him in only a handful of games he's played. A rookie elevated player at half-back. Fought a good fight on the wing to give this opportunity. Yeah,
Adam Oxley, I think he rolled an ankle last year and was quite injured with that and struggled to come back after that.
That was for 3 goals in a row for Collingwood. Fought their way back from 57 points down.
Hold there, Jane. Thank you.
Hardigan.
Hold there. Hold there. You.
Blair, good float in. Couldn't quite complete the deal. Greek slams it to the wing. Sloan. Good battle. Douglas. Jenkins just got the kick away, but for Solo was in the spot. So Collingwood could finish off at least full of run here and make the scoreboard look a little more attractive. Elliott could have got a free, did get a free.
They're holding their 6-man forward line, the Magpies. They're going to go in. Dane Swan has spent the last 30 minutes as a forward. There he is.
Brown to Greek. Sloan. Good hands. Had Pendlebury to beat. So one of the best in the business. Jenkins. McKay caught. That's ball. Had Pryor.
Didn't have a lot forward then for him, and Charlie Cameron was the only guy ahead of the play.
Didn't really read it, Charlie, and give him an option down the line.
Grundy in Cloak's direction. Blair stands under him. Didn't quite work. Yench.
Cloakey tried to give him the screen then, but he just... Blair couldn't jump high enough.
You tell him to get out of the way, wouldn't you, Dan? Those little blokes.
Not 15.
That's a 3-metre pass.
5. Dangerfield. Well, ugly ball, but it might still work. Walker's going to work into it.
Adelaide just lost their forward structure a bit here.
Ramsey on the back pedal. Goldsack. Langdon. Seedsman. He's got a few options to go to. One's in the goal square. Blair. Oh, he thought about it. He did play on. Got away with it. 3 goals in a row, Collingwood, and Blair's got 3.
He summed that up very well. He had Swan with all that vast experience demanding the ball on the lead out to the... Look at Swanee at the bottom of the screen here. He's already on the bike. He reckons he's got the easy lead up. He uses him for a half second or thinks about it, but he scans the scene and takes the right option.
Yeah. I'll be happy with this, the last 4 goals. Certainly haven't been without effort all day, Collingwood.
.37 points. It was 57. Looking a lot more respectable right now. Can they finish it off? Dangerfield got it from Grigg. Sloan his target. Got a good set of hands.
He's got a good set of hands for a small type midfielder. It's a really good day, Rory Sloan. He's one of those guys you come up against for the opposition and you'll always put his name tag to the side and say he's a matchup we need to shut down.
Second in the best and fairest to gain last year to go with his gold jacket from the year before.
What do they do, the Crows?
Best and fairest wins a gold jacket.
Gold jacket? Is it the Australian Masters or?
No, it's bigger. High, goal square, and the fist through.
Just an update from downstairs regarding Brodie Smith. They're still working on him down there. We'll try and get a full update in the post-match if we can. He's in great hands. A lot of medical attention down there. He gave us the thumbs up as he went down the tunnel, so hopefully all is good.
Thanks for that, Kingy. There'll be plenty of Crow fans and family members at home that would be thankful for an update there. Little edge out on Smith by Hardigan. Got away with it. Cheney. Yench. Straight down the middle. Sub Grigg, who's having an impact. First game for the year. Back in this week.
Notice when Cloak took that mark, he swung around and went straight back down the line. If he looks, he's got to get Backman going out the other side of the ground and crisscrossing the ball across the deck, and that's how you really put teams to the sword. And I know they're down, I know they're tired, but you've still got to endeavour to run out there and supply the option.
Especially late in the game, you're going to have a lot more loose options. Back in the corridor, Derm.
Refusing to blaze away, just using spare men. Back to Cheney. Hardigan. Laird.
Adelaide will be happy to do this
Sloan.
for the next few minutes. Just control the ball a bit, especially since Collingwood's kicked the last few.
Walker.
Clocked over 400 possessions now, the Crows.
Good kick.
He's worked hard since coming on, Grigg. Wearing number 8 this year, or 38 last year, wearing Lewis Johnston's old number 8 this year. Sloan.
114 marks to Adelaide, 55 to Collingwood. Just controlled the ball all day.
Collingwood are leaving spare men behind the ball, so Adelaide just content to use them. Talia. Henderson.
Thank you.
I think Lowe should be happy with this. He doesn't want end-to-end football this time of the game.
Doesn't want any more injuries as well.
Definitely not.
But they have confirmed their round 1 form, Adelaide.
Yes.
Set a whole new benchmark for the club now. Their first 2 weeks of football under a new coach, Philip Walsh. He's been of great influence, Philip Walsh early. Now obviously we played for Collingwood, Richmond and Brisbane, and then went and helped Port Adelaide win a flag under Mark Williams, then went to the West Coast, and now Port Adelaide and back to Adelaide. So he's been in the system for a long time, honing his coaching skills.
Tell you what, Dwayne, they'll be hanging off the rafters in round 5 when they play against Port Adelaide.
It's a Crows showdown round 5, so there's a chance that no Port Adelaide fan will get a ticket.
It's been the Magpie supporters are starting to boo now, but it's been a long time since Collingwood have touched the footy here.
It has.
I've just been told I've got that game as well, so I can't wait to get over there for that one. You'll see it wherever you're watching this. You'll see it live and in high definition with us. You'll have the best seat in the house if you can't get a seat for the showdown in round 5. That should be a cracker. Adelaide Crows home showdown.
This will nearly be a world record for the most uncontested marks in a row here. They've taken about the last 20, I think.
It go very, very close.
Finally.
See how they go here. This will be a contest anyway.
Oh, it might go to the back, off the deck.
Kicked it back in.
Still a chance, Eddie. Might get it out of hands.
He needed to point the toe instead of curl the toe. There you go. Eddie, what are you doing?
There it is in high definition. Third eye.
Would have been better off kicking it with the sole of his foot. Pushing it through by foot.
Kicked one of the goals of the year earlier in this game. In fact, the first goal of the game, Eddie Betts. He's just a sensation to watch. Jesse White bangs a torpedo. The Swan. For Solo. Scott Cloak for Solo. Still for Solo. Still for Solo.
He's got Cloak now. He's not going to get around quick enough. Look at Cloaky.
Solo looks at the scoreboard. There's 33 minutes gone. He's probably thinking, well, I'll play on, the siren might sound it, but he'll just go back and have him kick.
57 inside 50s to 43 for Collingwood. A tough day for the forwards. Hasn't come in very cleanly. Certainly when it has come in, they've been outnumbered by the Adelaide defence.
And he drills it inside a minute to full time.
Just back up over that stat from a few minutes ago, Brownie. 58 marks for Collingwood, opposed to 126.
a lot of that has come from, as you can just see here, it was actually pretty well done by Dane Swan. He took his time, could have banged it in earlier on. Just took his time, called for Solo to come back at him. But yes, Adelaide have dominated the marks, Derm, and that's mainly been set up by their pressure. And Collingwood have struggled to come out of their defence with any composure, so they've really had to blaze away. And of course, Adelaide have loaded up behind the ball, and then they've been able to share it and go back inside their 50 with better precision than Collingwood.
David King to bring us a couple of interviews after the game. We'll go down to the rooms for the song, so stay with us. Ellis Yeoman inside 50 to Cameron. Just flicked away from him. We'll bring you the full flavour of this Adelaide Crow demolition. Could have been worse. Collingwood have kicked the last 4 goals of this game. Adams.
Yeah, he's got to use it, Taylor. It's not a great kick. He must use it to advantage. Well done.
So Cloak to Langdon to Jesse White.
Well done.
Well, they could finish with 5 in a row.
Tough one for Hardigan, get caught in that situation, running back to goal. Jesse White was able to just use Hardigan's momentum against him, just push him out of the way, come back at the ball.
It's hard to know what is actually possible for the Adelaide Crows this year. They have demolished their 2 opponents so far in 2015. Collingwood may have kicked the last 5 goals of this, but they were 57 points up, Adelaide, and they won easing up in the end. And right now, I reckon start believing the hype. They're a contender on what we've seen so far in 2015.
There is no doubt this team is very good. As you say, it's hard to get a read on them, but one thing is for sure, they have improved out of sight from last year. They are headed north with a bullet. One bloke who's got a bullet next to him all the time, and he is an absolute rocket in that forward line, is Eddie Betts, and he is with our own David King.
And he's always a bit of fun, Ed. What a fantastic performance again by the team tonight.
Yeah, it was great, you know. We come over to get the 4 points, and that's what we did, you know. We wanted to put the pressure in, make them turn it over, and hit the scoreboard. I think we did that right.
You still got that banana going, mate. That was fantastic in the first quarter.
Yeah, I just had a crack, and it came off. I practiced it a lot, but you know, if you have a crack, they come off. If they don't, they don't. But we went through.
We're just showing it now, mate. Not much emotion from you. Didn't really celebrate too hard early in the game.
Nah, I got to tone it down a bit, you know. Doing all the team things now.
What about the other end? What about the last quarter? That's a special for you, just to dab it across the line.
I thought I was going to go on. It just went straight up in the air. Next week.
No, well done. Now, they look like a powerful outfit at the moment. They're getting a lot of inside 50s for you, a lot of opportunity. The boys are playing some good footy.
Yeah, it is, and you know, everyone's got to play their role. That's what we're all about. You play your role, you play in the Adelaide Football Club team. So I think all the boys know their roles, and we did it all right tonight.
Come and enjoy it, mate.
Thanks, Ken.
Cheers.
Really well served by Eddie Betts up there. Tex Walker's the kingpin, and it all structures up around him. Jenkins didn't have a lot to do tonight. Eddie was dangerous as always. Tex was damaging early. The game was pretty hot. And then a few minutes into the 3rd quarter, we really knew what the result was going to be. Collingwood tried to minimise damage control. You can tell when Collingwood have said, well, let's minimise the damage here, but because they throw goal sack back, because they want his pressure in the forward line if they want to win. Other than that, they throw him to the back line. They did that 10 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Well, let's have a look at that kingpin. His name's Tex Walker, and he's with David King.
That was a powerful performance, mate, backing up after a pretty good round 1.
Yeah, mate, obviously that's what we've been working on all pre-season. Our defence today is our cornerstone of our game, and I suppose when we do that well, everything else flows. And I thought we were a bit patchy in the second half, but we held our nerve back then and got the job done.
Coach wasn't happy at 3-quarter time. He wanted you to have a relentless approach to the last quarter. It's coming, isn't it? You can feel like it's on the burn.
Yeah, as I said, we've had 4.5 months training in pre-season. Walsh has brought over some new stuff, and we're still learning a little bit, but we're very confident in our game plan.
Geez, you got some support on the road.
Yeah, mate, they're great supporters, so we love the 19th man.
Go and get involved. Well done, mate. Enjoy the form for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Ken.
60,000 plus members now, and some even better news for Adelaide Crow fans who are not here. If you're watching this back home, Brodie Smith up, and there's his dad. I mentioned he very rarely missed a Port Adelaide game in the 80s. He went to every one, and he has gone to most of Brodie Smith's games that Brodie Smith has been playing for the Adelaide Crows. So that's fantastic to see him and his father embracing there. It all looks okay.
That's right. He's done pretty well because he probably still gets the 3 votes, Brodie Smith. He's been knocked out, but he'll still get called out of the Brownlow medal, I would have thought, this year. And so it's good effort. He's a star. He's a real star, and he's one of a number of real A-grade talent Adelaide Crows have got.
You're a rap for him, aren't you? I mean, yeah, I'm a rap for him, but you're through the roof in your praise for him. Yeah, I think he's really athletic. He runs well. He's pretty tall for a halfback flanker, and he kicks the ball like a bullet. He never misses a target. I think he makes really good decisions. He was All-Australian last year, so he's continued on that form at the start of this season. It's pretty exciting times at the Adelaide Crows, no doubts about that. Did play against an opponent who I think's unlikely to make the top 8, of course, so we must remember the opposition. However, they blew North Melbourne off the paddock last week, and they're a top 4 team from last season.
Well, Collingwood and Adelaide virtually finished in the same spot on the ladder last year, 10th and 11th. Collingwood would have aspirations of making the finals this year, no doubt about that.
They would, but not on today's performance. The real problem is their ball use, and they've lost a lot of leadership in their back half, especially Maxwell and Lumumba going from there. Just some of their composure and their kicking skills bringing out from the back half, and it really carries on all throughout the game.
There's Adelaide's next 4. Melbourne, as I mentioned, it's a home game next week. And then the Bulldogs here, Port Adelaide, the big showdown in round 5, which is an Adelaide Crows home game, and then the Gold Coast at Metricon.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, that game at round 5.
They're a shot to get to round 7 or so and be a 5-2 or 6-1, and from there you can launch into a really sharp end season.
Throw the cat amongst the pigeons as they beat Port Adelaide at the showdown in round 5. Let's listen to the song.
Yes, a margin in the end of just 27 points after the Magpies came home with a bit of a wet sail, kicking the last 5 goals, but an emphatic performance by the Adelaide Crows, and we're all really looking forward to round 5. As Dwayne said, the showdown. I don't know how many people are going to pack into the Adelaide Oval, but they may even get more than 53 or 54,000. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to take a break. Still lots more to come, though. And right after the break, back to wrap up the big clash between these two sides, the Crows and Collingwood.
You're watching Jeep Saturday Live on Fox.